in FBI Most Wanted. His wife, Kylie McMahon, confirmed the heartbreaking news on July 4th, revealing that Julian passed away peacefully in Clearwater, Florida, just 2 days earlier, following a private battle with cancer. The specific illness was never disclosed, a testament to his quiet strength and dignity. Though facing his toughest battle in silence, Julian continued to work until the very end. In a touching full-circle moment, his final role in Netflix's The Residents saw him portray the Prime Minister of Australia, echoing the real-life legacy of his father. It was a fitting, poetic goodbye. In her words, Julian loved life, and his deepest wish was to bring joy to others. With an estimated net worth of $16 million, he leaves behind not just a body of work, but a spirit of redemption, creativity, and enduring grace. If Julian's life touched yours, consider subscribing to celebrate the legacies that continue to inspire. Jimmy Swaggart, the fiery televangelist and gospel musician who once moved millions with his sermons and songs, has sadly passed away at the age of 90. His family confirmed the heartbreaking news on July 1st via his official ministry page. Swaggart died peacefully at Baton Rouge General Medical Center, Louisiana, after suffering a cardiac arrest on Father's Day. He had been hospitalized for over 2 weeks in critical condition. Rising from humble beginnings in rural Louisiana, Swaggart launched a gospel career in the 1960s and rose to national fame through his television ministry in the 1980s. At his peak, his sermons aired on over 3,000 stations. He recorded over 75 gospel albums and founded the Jimmy Swaggart Bible College, shaping a generation of believers. But his journey was marked by painful controversy. In 1988, and again in 1991, scandals involving prostitution shook his ministry and cost him his credentials with the Assemblies of God. Yet, in a quiet act of redemption, he rebuilt his platform through a non-denominational church, with support from his wife Frances and son Donnie. Through it all, Swaggart never stopped preaching. He spent his final years broadcasting on the Sun Life Broadcasting Network. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at $5 million. His legacy remains complex, but undeniably powerful. If his life left a mark on yours, consider subscribing as we honor a voice that echoed across generations. Alex Delvecchio, the beloved Red Wings legend and Hall of Fame centerman, has sadly passed away at the age of 93. His death on July 1st marks the end of a remarkable chapter in hockey history and in countless lives touched by his quiet generosity. Delvecchio spent his entire playing career with the Detroit Red Wings, earning 3 Stanley Cup championships, 13 NHL All-Star selections, and 3 Lady Byng trophies for gentlemanly conduct. He was the steady hand behind the iconic Production Line 2, skating alongside Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay. Though his on-ice accolades were impressive, it was his off-ice kindness that made him unforgettable. His passing was remembered by journalist Jarrett Bell, who revealed that Delvecchio once quietly paid for his baseball gear, offered him a first job, and even trusted him with his car, opening doors that eventually led to a lifelong career in journalism. Alex faced tough times during his tenure as coach and general manager, yet remained devoted to the Red Wings and later found quiet success running his own business. His legacy is more than trophies. It's the ripple effect of every life he uplifted without fanfare, forever remembered as a veteran mentor and model of class and quiet redemption. To honor his legacy and stories like these, we invite you to subscribe and remember the heroes who shaped generations. Kylie Page, the rising adult film star and Netflix documentary voice, has tragically passed away at the age of 28. Her body was discovered in her Hollywood apartment on June 25th, following a welfare check prompted by a concerned friend. Law enforcement later reported suspected fentanyl overdose, with drug paraphernalia found at the scene. An official cause of death is still pending. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kylie entered the adult industry in 2016 and quickly rose to prominence, appearing in over 200 films with major studios like Brazzers and Vixen Media Group. She also gained public attention through her candid appearance in Netflix's Hot Girls Wanted, Turned On, bravely sharing her struggles with substance abuse and the complexities behind the camera. Her journey was one of vulnerability and courage. Despite facing inner battles, Kylie continued to work, to smile, and to connect with her fans. She was remembered by peers as bright, kind, and full of life. In a heartfelt tribute, fellow actress Leah Gotti described her as a happy soul who lived freely and loved fiercely. Her family is now fundraising to bring Kylie home to the Midwest for burial, not just to lay her to rest, but to return her to love, to honor Kylie's story, her truth, and her light. Please consider subscribing as we remember those who lived loud and left us quietly. Jim Shooter, the visionary editor-in-chief who redefined Marvel Comics, has sadly passed away at the age of 73. His death, confirmed on June 30th by longtime colleague Mark Waid, follows a lengthy battle with esophageal cancer. Shooter's impact on comics is nothing short of legendary. At just 14, he began writing for DC's Superboy, and by the late 1970s, he had become the 9th editor-in-chief of Marvel. Under his leadership, Marvel entered a golden era, launching iconic titles like X-Men, nurturing talents like Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz, and expanding the market through graphic novels and specialty comic shops. His tenure helped Marvel command over 80% of the U.S. comics market. But his journey was not without struggle. Known for his uncompromising standards, Shooter often clashed with creators. Yet behind that intensity was a deep passion for fairness, especially for freelancers. After leaving Marvel, he founded Valiant Comics and continued to shape the industry with both triumphs and setbacks. Even in his final years, Shooter remained devoted, writing insightful blogs, mentoring young talents, and appearing at conventions as a veteran mentor. Artists and fans alike now remember a man who, through fire and friction, left an enduring legacy of imagination and integrity. To honor Jim's contributions and the stories he helped build, we invite you to subscribe and keep the spirit of comic storytelling alive. Bill Dellinger, the Olympic bronze medalist and revered mentor to legendary runner Steve Prefontaine, has sadly passed away at the age of 91. His death on June 27th was met with heartfelt tributes from the running community and fans worldwide. Dellinger's life was marked by remarkable athletic achievements and decades of inspiring leadership as head coach at the University of Oregon. A standout athlete, Dellinger earned a bronze medal in the 5,000 meters at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics amid challenging conditions. He also set multiple American and world records, displaying relentless determination and passion. Following his competitive career, he transitioned into coaching, guiding a generation of Olympians including Prefontaine, Alberto Salazar, and Matt Centrowitz Sr., fostering a legacy of excellence and mentorship. His leadership extended beyond the track, demonstrating grace and resilience through personal trials, notably supporting Prefontaine during the 1972 Munich Olympic tragedy and overcoming his own health battles in later years. Bill Dellinger's enduring legacy lives on in the countless athletes he shaped and the running community he inspired. His impact is celebrated annually through the Bill Dellinger Invitational in Springfield, Oregon. As we remember his extraordinary life and contributions, we honor a true veteran mentor whose influence transcended sport. To pay tribute and continue sharing stories like his, please consider subscribing. Paul Libin, the iconic Broadway producer and longtime president of Circle in the Square Theater, has sadly passed away at the age of 94. Libin's extraordinary career spanned nearly 7 decades, during which he produced over 250 acclaimed Broadway, off-Broadway, and touring productions. He led Circle in the Square Theater for 62 years, guiding groundbreaking shows such as Death of a Salesman, Slave Play, and Just in Time. He also served as executive vice president and producing director at Jujamcyn Theaters for 28 years, playing a vital role in bringing transformative works like Angels in America and The Producers to the stage. His death on June 27th in New York City following a brief illness marks the end of an era. Libin's dedication extended beyond producing. He was a passionate advocate for the arts, serving as president of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS for 24 years, significantly expanding the organization's philanthropic impact. Throughout his life, Libin overcame the challenges of the ever-evolving theater world with grace and resilience, fostering innovation while honoring tradition. His legacy is celebrated not only through his productions, but through the generations of artists he supported and inspired. Survived by his wife Florence and their family, Paul Libin leaves a cultural impact that will resonate across Broadway for years to come. To honor his life and legacy, please consider subscribing and joining us in remembering a true veteran mentor of the stage. D. Wayne Lukas, the legendary Hall of Fame horse trainer, known for his record 15 Triple Crown wins, has sadly passed away at the age of 89. Lucas's extraordinary career reshaped American thoroughbred racing. With 4 Kentucky Derby victories, 7 Preakness Stakes wins, and 4 Belmont Stakes titles, he stood as one of the sport's greatest innovators and champions. His horses earned over $310 million in purses across nearly 5,000 wins, a testament to his relentless dedication and unmatched talent. His family confirmed his passing on June 28, 2025, at his home in Kentucky after battling a severe MRSA blood infection that damaged his heart and digestive system, compounding chronic health issues. Even in his final days, Lukas chose peace, surrounded by loved ones and faith. Despite health challenges, Lucas's passion never waned. Known affectionately as Coach for his hands-on style and early mornings at the track, he believed that understanding the horse's unique needs was the key to success. His legacy is one of resilience, perseverance, and an unyielding spirit, a true veteran mentor whose impact transcended the sport. Loved by family, friends, and fans alike, Lukas leaves behind a profound cultural impact in the racing world. His inspiring journey reminds us that with passion and the right attitude, greatness is always within reach. To honor his legacy, please subscribe and join us in celebrating the life of a true racing icon. Stuart Burrows, the iconic Welsh tenor, known for his extraordinary Mozart performances and captivating voice, has sadly passed away at the age of 92. Born in Silfanid, Wales, in 1933, Burrows began his artistic journey as a child and rose to international acclaim with a career spanning over 3 decades. He graced the stages of the world's most prestigious opera houses, including La Scala, the Metropolitan Opera, and Covent Garden. Burrows was celebrated for his lyricism and sensitivity, particularly in roles by Mozart and Donizetti. His popular BBC Two series, Stuart Burrows Sings, further endeared him to audiences by bringing opera and classical music into living rooms for 8 memorable years. His passing was met with heartfelt condolences from the global music community. Colleagues praised his warm personality and refined musicianship, which touched hearts worldwide. Though the article does not detail his final days, Burrows' legacy shines brightly as a veteran mentor and cultural icon who dedicated his life to the beauty of opera. Throughout his life, Burrows remained true to his artistic values. even declining roles that did not suit his voice, demonstrating a commitment to authenticity and excellence. He leaves behind a legacy of artistry and passion that will inspire generations to come. We extend our deepest sympathies to his family and fans, honoring a life devoted to elevating the human spirit through song.
Began, it was with Marty Marr back here in the early 90s.
Have you ever had to reinvent yourself? Not for applause, but simply to survive? For Will Smith, reinvention wasn't about chasing fame. It was about staying whole in a world that constantly demanded pieces of him. To those watching who've weathered life's storms, who've learned the quiet strength that arrives long after the spotlight fades, this story is especially for you. Today, we won't just talk about celebrity. We'll explore the quiet courage it takes to build a legacy beyond fame. This journey begins in West Philadelphia, where cracked sidewalks held childhood dreams and gospel music drifted softly through open windows, comforting like morning prayers. It was here, in 1968, that Willard Carroll Smith Jr. first learned life's hardest lessons. His mother, Caroline Bright, a respected school administrator, firmly believed education could elevate a soul. His father, Willard Sr., a former U.S. Air Force sergeant turned refrigeration engineer, taught integrity through quiet action. He would often say in his stern but gentle voice, "Excuses are the enemy of greatness." Those words echoed in young Will's ears every Saturday morning as jazz legend Miles Davis spun softly on the family's record player. Beside it lay a chore list, and pinned proudly next to the thermostat were his report cards, treasured like sacred texts. Even as a boy, Will understood discipline, but also found solace in performance, not on big stages yet, but right there in the family's living room, mimicking comedian Richard Pryor and scribbling rhymes into spiral notebooks. He performed not for applause, but simply to be heard and understood. At school, classmates called him Prince, not for wealth, but for the ease with which he navigated conflicts. His charisma, clean sneakers, and quick wit were his weapons. He didn't fight. He talked his way through trouble. By age 12, Will was already shaping verses and captivating audiences at local parties. But his life truly changed in 1985, in the cramped basement of a neighborhood party in West Philly. There he met DJ Jazzy Jeff, a young man who spoke through turntables. Together, they made magic. 2 years later, they had a record deal. And in 1989, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff made cultural history, winning the very first Grammy for Best Rap Performance with their playful anthem, "Parents Just Don't Understand." Their music wasn't just entertaining, it was groundbreaking, bringing rap into suburban homes across America without threat or profanity. They were fresh, playful, and had an undeniable cultural impact. But fame, Will soon discovered, rarely arrives with instructions. Behind the scenes, success had left him financially stranded, taxes unpaid, accounts frozen, and his cars repossessed. It wasn't just failure, it was public humiliation. Just as his rising star seemed destined to fall, fate intervened. Quincy Jones called. With no script, no time, and just instinct, Will walked into a spontaneous audition and emerged as the star of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Premiering in 1990, this show became more than just entertainment. It became a cherished weekly ritual for millions of families, cementing Will's legacy in American culture. He didn't coast. He trained, studied storytelling meticulously, and built script clubs with veteran mentors, preparing for a career far beyond one show. Cinema beckoned, and Will's rise was meteoric. In 1993, he stunned critics with his dramatic performance in 6 Degrees of Separation, proving his range went far beyond comedy. Blockbusters followed. Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black. He became not just an actor, but a symbol of Black excellence and global cultural impact. At his peak, Will Smith stood at the center of Hollywood, his legacy seemingly unshakable. But deep inside, beneath the tailored suits and flawless smiles, something unseen began to fracture. A quiet storm was brewing, setting the stage for the biggest test of his life. A test that no spotlight could illuminate, a test only silence and darkness could teach. Stay with us as we move toward the turning point in Will Smith's unforgettable journey, a moment that would forever redefine his legacy. But every legacy, no matter how shining, faces a moment that tests its strength. For Will Smith, that test arrived not on a film set, but under the brightest lights in Hollywood, on the Oscar stage in March 2022. It was the night that changed everything. A moment of laughter quickly turned into shock when Will impulsively slapped comedian Chris Rock, a gesture triggered by a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The world watched stunned as one of America's most beloved figures unraveled publicly. In seconds, Will's carefully curated image shattered, replaced by a storm of judgment, regret, and scandal. The cultural impact was immediate and unforgiving. The Academy swiftly imposed a 10-year ban. Film studios canceled projects. Trust fractured. But more painful than public disgrace was Will's private reckoning. The quiet realization that this wasn't just about a slap, it was a rupture, a lifetime of compressed grief and suppressed fears finally unleashed. I've had to sit with parts of myself I had spent decades trying to outperform, Will later wrote in his journal. Fear, rage, the deep fear that maybe I was never enough without the work, the spotlight, the mask. This marked the beginning of Will's extraordinary sobriety journey, not from alcohol or drugs, but from an addiction to perfection and public validation. After decades chasing applause, he now faced silence, humility,